What's up guys, Garth from Cardfight Nation here. Just going to bring a deck profile to you guys of my Dark Irregulars deck. It's been playtesting alright. I'm just trying to work some kinks out of it and see if the route I'm going is sort of the way I want to continue building this deck and if I think it's going to be competitive enough. I'm thinking of trying out something different, but I'm going to see how this goes and I'm just going to show it to you guys. And here we go. First off, the starter, Moon Gatekeeper. When you ride a Dark Irregulars on top of this card, you get to Soul Charge. This deck can't use any counterblasts besides Megablasts. That's basically how it is. I can't be relying on getting a heal trigger to unflip my damage since Dark Irregulars don't have an unflipper. I can't even risk having Greedy Hand or the generic grade 3 Searcher because I'll be using a counterblast and that's not really that good. I don't like running this card, I can very much say that. I really don't. I'd rather free 5k booster, but I don't want to leave Greedy Hand behind the Vanguard and have it sit there all game when it can't do anything. When set 5 comes out, I quite possibly could do that because it behind Death Anchor is 18. So that could still work, but this allows for the field to be not cluttered up. And it also gives you +2 to the soul because he doesn't move back, so he stays in, and then he gives you another card for riding on top of it. The triggers, pretty standard. 4 crit, 4 draw. That should be a draw, it's a stand because I don't have another stand. But come set 5, I can just use Hysteric Shelley, so it's alright. And the 4 heals. Awesome. Okay, triggers. Easy. Obviously I want to run that 8 crit because the entire point of the deck is to push my opponent really fast, early. That way they'll be on the back foot and I'll be able to win with my Mega Blasts when the time arises. 3 Prisoner Beast, I can only really fit 3. That's pretty much all it is. Devil Child may take precedence over this. Comes set 5 just to deal with the End and Phantom Blast Overlord, but we'll see about that. It's AK, it's pretty standard, like, not much to say about it. 4 Luring Succubus, you need this for the early game Soul Charge because you don't have to be waiting all game on your Mega Blast Auto Soul Charge. So yeah. And it's a good 7k booster, so it's alright. Next, MVP of the deck. During the Thruster, during your main phase, when a card is Soul Charged, it gets +3, it's 6k base. But with the Mega Blast, they Soul Charge at the start of every turn, so it's a 9k booster. Playing one of these or a Floaty Succubus becomes a 12k booster, so you can even hit cross rides rather easily with that. And for March Rabbit, no god, I'll be negging one of these out come set 5 if I put in Devil Child, and I may even take one out for another Prisoner Beast, I'm not sure yet. I feel that 4 nulls is generally cluttery and it'll script your hands a little bit, and generally you end up riding it, and obviously you'd always rather ride the Prisoner Beast because it's 8k. Now the grade 2s, running 4 Werewolf Seeger for the 10k. Nice to be defensive early, and they can just be played and hit things. Running 3 Demon of Aspiration Mon. When you have 6 or more cards in Soul, he gets +3000, so it's an 11k attacker on your turn, but 8k on your opponent's. This card's pretty good. Like, it allows you to hit like Overlord and Kaiser in the rear guard and can swing at 11k Vanguards on its own. I'm just not sure on how many I should keep. I do want to keep the Seekers because they're 10 and I like being defensive with my decks as far as being able to guard them and such, because they can swing for 18 at this, and if I want to keep it I have to drop 15, so I won't. But yeah. And then 3 Floaty Succubus. I'm thinking about running another one. I just have to find another one. But on-call Soul Charge one. So it allows you to get to the target of 8 a lot faster. Now for the grade 3s, most interesting part of the deck, we have 4 No Life King Death Anchor. I'll go through his skills. Starting main phase, you get Soul Charge 1 and he gets +2000, so he's 12k attack on his own, like most Mega Blasts. If you have 8 or more cards in Soul, he gets +1000 statically, so it becomes 11. And his auto skill, when this unit attacks, you can put 5 face-up cards from your damage zone into your Soul. He gets +10,000, +1 critical. and during the end phase of that turn, you take the top 5 cards of your deck and put them into your damage zone. No triggers will activate, obviously, and even if they did, it wouldn't matter too much. But it just allows you to put on a bit of pressure, but it also allows you to deck out very fast. So you need to be very careful when using this. I sort of just use it for the 13 base, put a Prisoner Beast or a Doreen behind it, and you can hit 21, alluring to hit 20 if you're playing against Gold Paladins that isn't Duke. So that's pretty good. I'm not sure about this card. Like, the 31 2 crit is pretty good, but generally it's just gonna get nulled. So you just gotta, it's a card that you've gotta watch your opponent's hand and see how many nulls they have. Watch for the drive checks for nulls and sort of be careful. Because even without this, we have alternate win conditions. Steel Vampire, start main phase, Soul Charge 1, gets plus 2000. It's an activate Megablast, Counterblast 5, Soul Blast 8. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and make them, and place it on their Vanguard circle. Or write it. I'm not sure on the exact mechanic from the Japanese translation and such, but basically if they have a Spring Breeze Messenger or a Flame of Victory, if we're playing against Gold Paladins, we can make them ride it, and due to the mechanics of the game, they cannot guard with units that are higher than their Vanguard. So if you make them ride a grade 0, they can't null guard you. So at that point, it is almost pretty much game, because they have to guard for 25 against your Vanguard and probably 20 on each of your rear guard lines, if there are a 5k or 6k. You can also make them ride grade 1s. I had a game on the weekend where I made this guy ride a Photon Bomb Wyvern, I think it was, and he couldn't go with grade 2s in his hand. So, and he had the 5k to be able to go with grade 2s, but at that point he just, like, he didn't have enough while he was a grade 1 Vanguard. He did when he was a grade 3, because he had the grade 2s to guard with, but he just didn't have enough. So this card is very good for an endgame push, especially if you're playing against people who boost with grade 0s, like if you're playing against Goku and they've got a draw trigger, then you know it's game. Anyone that will play a draw trigger to boost with will lose to this card, all amounts of. So yeah, this card's very scary and people don't like the effect going off against them. So if you can win with this, win with it. It's so good that after being grade stuck for all of the game on grade 2, I top decked into it and I won. So, be very knowledgeable for that. And then last 2 grade 3s are Demon Eater. Same start of main phase, Soul Charge 1 skill. And this one's an auto Mega Blast, Soul Blast 8, Counterblast 5. When this unit hits one of your opponent's units, just hits a unit, doesn't matter which one, as long as it hits it. You can activate your effect, pay the cost, and retire all of your opponent's rear guards. So, this card's very good as well. You can have these in your rear guard circle, you can have a Vanguard, either way. But if they let you hit with this, they will probably lose. Yeah. Because at that point they have to waste 5 more cards to replace the units that they've lost. And good luck being able to do that late game. So if you can break numbers like with Doreen, and get it up to 22 and attack one of their rear guards that they don't want to protect, or if they've gotten trigger and they protected their Vanguard, you can swing at their rear guard. They're still going to have to block this for 15 at least. So it means you make your opponent waste guard, or if they're silly enough to not guard it, you can retire all of their rear guards. So that's very good. So that's it for the deck profile. If you've got any recommendations or anything, just let me know and post in the comment section and stuff. But yeah, sort of work in progress. I'll probably be dropping these down to 3. Try and keep in as many Prisoner Beasts as I can. Definitely keeping 4 Doreen and 4 Alluring. That's sort of how that's going to work. My grade 2s are a bit iffy at the moment. I'm not sure on a Mon. Because early game it's pretty well useless, and late game after a Mega Blast it can also be pretty well useless. Just depends. And my grade 3 lineup is pretty solid for the way this deck is built. I'm thinking about switching to Dark Lord of the Abyss and Mon ish, just because they can hit cross rides so easily. especially with Dark Lord with his Activate Soul Charge too, making Doreen a 12k booster for the turn. So put it behind any 11k and it'll hit 23, so that's very good. Or put it behind Mad Eye Basilisk and it'll hit 24, so yeah. But that's the idea, that's the deck. Just remember to subscribe, like, comment and such, and we'll see you next time for more content of the Cardfight variety. Bye.